the first to know Nsem-Pii TV.
Since Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia etimi awini NPP amanyɔkuo no elections no kame say NDC amanyɔkuo no sɛ wokɔpie mu a wɔn keka na ɛkeka wɔn etiri bom a me na ɔkasa yi deɛ ɛnyɛ asɛm kotoa na Fiifi Kwetey a ɔyɛ general secretary ɛde NDC amanyɔkuo no etimi ɛkɔka asɛm bi a me na ɔkasa yi deɛ Muslims for a etimi ɛwɔ Ghana etimi ehiti pa sɛdeɛ mpanimfoɔ de tu da sɛ kasa ntimi empro plus deɛ John Dramani Mahama nso etimi ɛbɛka no recently a ɛkame yɛ sɛ Muslims for sɛ NDC amanyɔkuo no ɛpɛ sɛ wɔn disrespect wɔn a ɛnyɛ asɛm kotoa na asɛm bɛn ɛna Fiifi Kwetey etimi ɛkɔka ya ame na ɔkasa deɛ etimi ama Muslims for no etimi adwa kakra yɛnkɔ na yɛnkɔtie nsɛm a Fiifi Kwetey etimi ade tu dwa ɛne kwan a Muslims for ɛfa so etimi reply no yɛnkɔ na yɛnkɔtie
2007 or 2008 about a Muslim leading Ghana. At that time, he was not General Secretary of the NDC, but he was a minister or so of the NDC. He used to be Propaganda Secretary, and at the time he made this statement, he was minister. That's Fiifi Kwetey. Good evening, sir. Okay. This is the story. Fiifi Kwetey, the then National Propaganda Secretary of the National Democratic Congress, and now Deputy Minister for Finance and Economic Planning, Fiifi Kwetey, has stated in no uncertain terms that Muslim can never become the president of the Republic of Ghana, according to a U.S. Embassy cable. Fiifi Kwetey made this known in an interaction with officials of the U.S. Embassy in his capacity as Propaganda Secretary and advisor to former President Rawlings. On the 5th of October 2007, when the former was that's 2007 is when he said this, when the former was contacted for his views in the run-up to the December 2007 Congress of the New Patriotic Party, as well as the 2008 elections. When asked about the chances of the victory of Vice President Aliyu Mahama in the NPP Congress, Fiifi Kwetey, in his usual self, refused to comment on the strength of the then Vice President, but rather chose to focus on his religion as a Muslim. The source is the Statesman, Wednesday, so and so. Concerning the Vice President Aliyu Mahama, Fiifi Kwetey said, Ali Mahama's Muslim faith, religion is an important factor in Ghanaian politics, and many Christians and many Christian Ghanaians religion as it says politics and many is an important factor in Ghanaian politics, and many Christian Ghanaians, as well as the let me skip that. Some Ghanaians, particularly Northerners and Muslims, will feel that the Vice President Mahama deserves the nomination and is being treated disrespectfully by his party after serving loyally as Kufuor's deputy. The NDC will exploit these negative sentiments to generate support for our candidate, Fiifi Kwetey said. Fiifi Kwetey said in that same meeting, further went on to confirm the largely held view that NDC usurping the role of the Convention People's Party, the CPP, with the sole aim of obliterating it as a political party in Ghana. The NDC has largely taken over the CPP's role in Ghana's Nkrumah's political party, and that there has been weak support for the CPP in recent elections. He added, he also went on to label Dr. Pakwesi Indum as a traitor because he served, etc., etc. But the key point is here, and this reflects on Dr. Bawumia. You see, Fiifi Kwetey says something. Please get the President Mahama tape ready. Get the President Mahama tape on Muslims ready, please. The NDC would exploit these negative sentiments to generate support for our candidates. This is important. As far back as 2008, Fiifi Kwetey said that Vice President Mahama deserves the nomination. And he said that there will be an impression. Yes, some Ghanaians, particularly Northerners and Muslims, will feel that Vice President Mahama deserves the nomination and is being treated disrespectfully by his party after serving loyally as Kufuor's deputy. The NDC would exploit these negative sentiments to generate support for our candidate. Now, this was the plan in 2008. This again turned out to be the plan as President Mahama spoke in this video where he talked about Dr. Bawumia being Muslim and all of that. and that the NPP is going to, as usual, snub the Muslim. The NPP is going to snub the Northerner. The NPP is going to snub the Mamprusi man. The NPP is going to snub the Dagomba man. The NPP is going to snub the Gonja man. The NPP is going to snub the Kusasi man. The NPP is going to snub the Boku man. Everybody from the north, the NDC is hoping that the NPP will snub them so that they will use that sentiment to generate support for their candidate. Not this time round. Listen to President John Dramani Mahama.
Sad when I see some of our northern brothers running around and also doing this. They will use you and dump you. I want to live to see the day. You let anything happen today, and let our brother Bawumia say he's standing for president in NPP. They will never give it to him. I can assure you. When the misfortune hit us, and our father, Professor Mills, passed away, the Constitution said that the Vice President should take over. I did. But then we're close to an election. If it was another party, they would have insisted that there should be a Congress. And in that Congress, I would have been contested. And they would have given the leadership to somebody else. But when it happened, the NDC's National Executive Committee called a meeting and said, no, there will be no Congress. We are passing a resolution. John Mahama is the Vice President. We are going to support him to lead us into this election. And we went into the election, and God gave victory to us. And so I'm proud to be a member of the NDC because I know it is a party that opens opportunities for all people of Ghana, irrespective of your ethnic affiliation or your religious affiliation.
So you heard that. So it appears that for the National Democratic Congress, and we say a lot about it in our documentary that's coming. Please don't go away. The documentary is amazing. It tells you the whole story. You have to wait for it. I beg you, please wait for it. We just have a few difficult, because we want to get it right. We want to correct everything. We are checking all the facts before we show it to you, as we normally do. Sometimes these things take time. It's painful to us when we are not able to finish and put it out. Yeah, but we have to take our time. It's very, very important. Okay, so now let's get what the Islamic cleric said about this matter. So you get the NDC's point. MPP doesn't respect Northerners. MPP doesn't deal with minority tribes. MPP is only Akan. MPP is only Ashanti. MPP is only Achim. MPP is only Western region. MPP is only Koforidia and Kumasi and Mampo and Pankrono and all of that. MPP is not Mamprusi. MPP is not Kusasi. MPP is not Bole. MPP is not Dambai. MPP is not Salaga. MPP doesn't like those people. We like those people. Vote for us today. Something has changed, hasn't it? Okay. So an Islamic scholar and cleric, Sheikh M. Awal Larry, has described as disrespectful comments purportedly made by Deputy Finance Minister Fiifi Kwetey about Muslims at the presidency. Recently leaked U.S. diplomatic cables published by the international whistleblower website WikiLeaks quoted the Deputy Minister of Finance as saying that a Muslim can never become president in Ghana. A Muslim can never become president of Ghana. But why should there be a category of Ghanaians that by virtue of their religion, they can never become president of Ghana, or they can never become something in Ghana? The reason why somebody can become president of Ghana or not, as is with every country, is by citizenship. In America, if you are not an original citizenship born in America, you cannot be president of America. So you may call that discriminatory, but those are the rules of every country because they want loyalty to the state. So you must be citizenship. Fiifi Kwetey adds another category, not just citizenship. He says that a Muslim. So a child is born, if I have friends who are Muslims, at my age they are Muslims. My children are not Muslims, but their children are Muslims. And my children are not Christians because they decided to be Christian. They were born into Christianity. I was born into Christianity. I was serving Mass at age 8. Is it my fault that I'm serving? So somebody comes and says that no Catholic can be president of Ghana. Whoa. And this comment was made, and the Peace Council and all of those people didn't say anything. Maybe that was 2008. But it shouldn't be the thought of a political party, and that's very dangerous. It's so dangerous. I like to play President Mahama's tape again, and I'll tell you what. You see that you can't find a video of the tape. This tape has been going around. You can hear the sound because these are not campaigns that they put on TV. Why should I go to Ghana people when I'm campaigning for a presidential position and I'm Ghana and somebody else is fancy, and I go to Ghana people and I tell them that this other party, they don't like you Ghans? Is that the reason how somebody becomes president? Is that a campaign I should wage to become president? To tell people this is smear campaign. I mean, the boys can do that, but the presidential candidate should. And we're going to check in this election and be sure that people are not doing that. And if they do that, we'll name them and we will shame them. Why will a presidential candidate go to Northerners and say, the opponent party, they don't like you Northerners, they hate you people. That is who they are. They will never vote for, they will never put you there. Look at what he said. President Mahama said that when Professor Mills died, because it's NDC, they allowed me to obey the constitution and they made me the leader. If it's MPP, they won't do it. He's not campaigning to say that these are my policies. I am better on education, I'm better on health, I'm better on transportation, I'm better on energy, I'm better on technology. He's not saying any of those things. He's doing a smear campaign and he's saying that if you are a Northerner, these people don't like you. Nothing to do with policy. I thought the campaigns of this nature had stopped in 1951. But here is President John Dramani Mahama speaking in 2020. At the time that he had held the office of president before, he had held the office of vice president before, he had the responsibility to unite Ghanaians with his campaign because he has been president of Ghana before. But no, he goes to his people and says that, listen, this party, not that I'm better than them, not that I can do policy better than them. Not that I can bring your children out of poverty with the policies I have better than them. No, he's not telling them that. He's telling them something else. He's telling them that this party don't like Northerners. Don't vote for them. Don't ever vote. They don't like you at all. If I was in their party, I'll never be president. Today, how is President Mahama going to listen? How is going to respond to that? I think this is a smear campaign that we must use this as an example to tell people that this cannot be the way a presidential candidate campaigns. Listen to President Mahama again.
Sometimes I feel sad when I see some of our northern brothers running around and also doing this. They will use you and dump you. Ezu, I want to live to see the day. You let anything happen today, and let our brother Bawumia say he's standing for president in MPP. They will never give it to him. I can assure you. When the misfortune hit us, and our father, Professor Mills, passed away, the constitution said that the vice president should take over. I did. But then we're close to an election. If it was another party, they would have insisted that there should be a congress. And in that congress, I would have been contested. And they would have given the leadership to somebody else. But when it happened, the NDC's National Executive Committee called a meeting and said, no, there will be no congress. We are passing a resolution. John Mahama is the vice president. We are going to support him to lead us into this election. And we went into the election and God gave victory to us. And so I'm proud to be a member of the NDC because I know it is a party that opens opportunities for all people of Ghana, irrespective of your ethnic affiliation or your religious affiliation.
All right, welcome back. So that's President Mahama speaking over there. All right, we'll leave it here because we will have a lot more to say when we show you what we have put together. So the Islamic scholar, so he alleged comments have drawn serious criticisms from sections of the Muslim community against Fiifi Kwetey. It goes on to say that with the latest criticism coming from Sheikh Larry, according to Muslim cleric, Mr. Kwetey's comments are an indication of the ruling party's discrimination against the country. Speaking on multi-TV's political talk show, Minority Caucus, the Islamic scholar said his investigations have revealed that Mr. Kwetey is even not a Christian because if he is a Christian, he will respect Islam. He is not a godly man. He is a traditionalist. I don't know about that for Fiifi Kwetey, that he's not a godly man or that he's a traditionalist. I'm not sure. I think I remember him being a Christian. I don't know what this guy is saying, but I don't know the latest in his life. Okay. He also accused Mr. Kwetey of arrogance and disrespect for Muslim community in Ghana, and warned that Fiifi has no right to mention Islam in anything. According to the Sheikh, the ruling NDC is formed under Antoine Nyama, is that what he said? And all these sorts of Africana religion. If Fiifi Kwetey, feels some Muslims have sold themselves to the NDC, it's not all of us, he said, unquote. He indicated that from his study of Ghana's political terrain, a Muslim is not supposed to join the NDC at all because Islam forbids certain things, unquote, which are inherent in the NDC, and added that it will be a sin for any Muslim to associate himself or herself with the NDC because of its Africana roots. That's what he said. Sheikh Awal thus warned all political parties to desist from using Muslims for their selfish gain. Haj Ismail Ibrahim, National Secretary of the NPP's Nasara Group, who was also on the show, said as a party, the NDC has always excluded Muslims from their activities. Quote, under the 4th Republican Constitution, he said, we have had 5 presidential elections, out of which NDC has won 3 and NPP has won 2. Of the 3 that the NDC had won, none of them considered a Muslim to be a running mate. And under the NPP 2 presidential elections that we have had, our running mate was a Muslim and a Northerner. So it tells you the way the NPP as a party thinks about Muslims. And putting those elections aside, what the NPP as a party did for Muslims in the country is enormous. Haj Ibrahim stressed. According to him, Zongo communities in Ghana have been neglected by the NDC government in terms of development, even though it is the Zongo communities that is the backbone of the NDC as a party. But yet, still, we don't see anything positive coming from them. Haj Ismail Ibrahim called on President Mills to ask Fiifi Kwetey to apologize to the Muslim communities for statements he made, is reported to have made. Okay, so this is the situation now. So the moral of this story is what? Moral of this story is that we have now found out that some politicians go on campaign and campaign in a way that's a smear campaign. It cannot be accepted that you go to campaign and you don't talk about policy, you attack personality, and you attack people for their religion. It is so unfair and it's so painful. It's so wrong because the guy was born into it. He's born into it. He has talent. He can think. He's educated. He has people skills. He cannot be president because he's Muslim. He cannot be president because he's Hindu. He cannot be president because he's what? The British Prime Minister is Hindu. The British Prime Minister is Hindu. British Prime Minister. The Anglican Church country. The country of the Anglican Church. The Church of England country. Their Prime Minister is a Hindu. That is what 2023 brings. That's what modernity brings. That is what development brings. That's what unity of purpose brings. It will bring the Hindu to be Prime Minister in the Church of England's country. That's unity. That's progress. That's why they are Britain. And we want to be like Britain as Ghana. And then Fiifi Kwetey is telling us that, no. In Ghana, if you want to be president, make sure that you are not born to Muslim parents. Who decides who they are born to? Who decides that? Which child decides that I am born to Muslim parents? You can say somebody cannot become, you can say that an armed robber cannot become president of Ghana. Somebody against whom a court has found treason cannot be president of Ghana. That is why one of the best presidents that we never had, Kwetey-We, was not president of Ghana because the court held that Kwetey-We had committed treason. So there are exclusions to people being president of Ghana. There are clear exclusions. Criminal record, and it's in the constitution. Qualifications to be a member of parliament. They are there. You have a criminal record, you can't be, because to have a criminal record, you must have elected to commit the crime. The mens rea is in your head. The actus reus is in your hands. So you have elected to commit a crime, and that is why we isolate you. How do people elect to become Muslim? Is becoming a Muslim a commission of a crime? Fiifi Kwetey should answer that. The General Secretary of the NDC. The General Secretary of the NDC is saying that is his view, that Muslims cannot be president of Ghana. Why? Blacks cannot be president of America. Whites cannot be president of America. Hispanics cannot be president of America. No way. Once you are a citizen of Ghana, born in Ghana, as Mumuni Bawumia gave birth to Muhammadu Bawumia in Ghana. Mumuni Bawumia gave birth to Muhammadu Bawumia. Muhammadu Bawumia is a Ghanaian. So that he becomes Muslim because his father Mumuni was Muslim should be a limitation for him to ascend to the highest office of the land. That's Fiifi Kwetey's view of the matter. That's President Mahama's view of the matter. But why should it be so? In fact, President Mahama's view of the matter is that the NPP will never elect a Muslim, not Muslim, and they will elect, an NDC will do it. That's a different campaign. It's a smear campaign, but it's different. Fiifi Kwetey's one is more serious. General Secretary of the NDC says, you're a Muslim. You cannot be president of Ghana. I do not understand that. That is why today I was gratified when I saw that the clerics from Ashanti region had gone to see Dr. Bawumia to congratulate him on his resounding victory at the NPP Congress. They are Christians. They are priests of the Christian church. They are priests of Jesus Christ. They work for Jesus. And they are Christians. They are not Muslims. But they do not look at Dr. Bawumia as a Muslim. They look at him as a Ghanaian. And if he's competent, people will vote for him. If he's not competent, people will not vote for him. They vote for him because he's competent and because he's carrying a message that people like. They don't vote for him because he's a Muslim. How does one become a Muslim? He's a Muslim because he was born a Muslim. Are we going to punish people because of the way they were born? I don't understand that. Please, Fiifi Kwetey is now General Secretary of the party. Uncle Fiifi, can you come out with the party's policy on this matter? Do you still believe that a Muslim should never be president of Ghana because he's born a Muslim? You could have been born a Muslim too. I could have been born a Muslim too. If I was not born by my father and my mother, and I was born by some of the neighbors I grew up in Burma camp with, if I was, for instance, born by Major Al-Hassan or Major Suleimana, they were in Burma villas with us, I would be a Muslim. Because I will follow what I became Catholic because my father is Catholic. My father became Catholic because his father was Catholic. I became Asante Kotoko because my father is Asante Kotoko. Are you going to punish me for being born as an Asante Kotoko supporter? I don't even understand it. But this is the danger of our politics that we need to check, because Ghana is doing great. Once we can take out some of these little things, we will be great again. Or we will be great like the greatest people. But when our key political leaders, nice guy like Fiifi Kwetey with a great brain. I respect Fiifi Kwetey's brain. He's a brain that you have to respect. He's a guy that has a lot of ideas. If you sit and talk to Fiifi Kwetey, he's good. But then why does he have some of these idiosyncrasies which are so wrong? So wrong. That the General Secretary of the NDC has made these statements in the past. No media is speaking it. No media is asking him any question. Nobody's asking him any question. In England, he would have been bombarded with questions by the media by now. In America, they would have bombarded him with questions. They'll say, Mr. Fiifi Kwetey, do you still hold the view that Muslims should not be Christians, Muslims should not be presidents because they are Muslims? Is that what you think of Dr. Bawumia? Is that a campaign you are going to wage against Dr. Bawumia, that he's a Muslim, therefore he should never be president? I don't understand that. Anyway, enough said. We